There are 270 state parks in California. That is a lot of state parks. Surprisingly, though, 70 of those 270 state parks are scheduled to close within the next year. Our journey to find out why these state parks were closing led us to Marin County, California, which has 6 state parks, of which 4 of them are scheduled to close by 2013. We wanted to see how the public felt about this process, or even if they knew anything about it at all. I noticed you had your guitar. You just come out here, play sometimes also? Just kind
I
of...
come out here, I compose out here.
Ah.
This is where I'm inspired to work. And I come out here, and this is a good place to be and do it.
Do you come to this park often? Or?
Often. Well, I'm in Los Angeles about half the time, but when I'm here, I come here at least 3-4 times a week. I stay in Lagunitas.
Ride in the hills about twice a week, just up in the Lucas Valley Open Space area. I go on various other trail rides, like throughout Novato, Santa Rosa, and Point Reyes area, and that's just kind of sporadically. And then I also go hiking up in the trails at least once a week, but riding is what I mainly do up there.
I know that there's been, in the news lately, there's been stories about money in the budget that's been hidden away by bad-handed people. And that money needs to reveal itself, and the parks need to be opened, and they need to be taken care of. And we should encourage our citizens also to volunteer to help take care of the park, those of us who love the park.
What I do know is that when they start closing down the parks, it's not like they shut it down all at once. It's a gradual process, and for me, most of the time, that means they shut down the horse riding first because that's what takes the most to maintain.
You mentioned, I guess you saw like on the news, the whole thing about the lady embezzling like funds.
Embezzlement might be a little bit much. I don't think they malappropriated. They just sort of hid them, right?
Right. But like, what do you think they were intending on using the money for?
Sounded like they were intending on using it to maintain the parks, even if the state cuts funding.
Huh. It didn't seem like that's what was being implied, but again, it's also news, so it's kind of up in the air as far as what was actually going on.
Well, there could be lots of things implied. It's all politics around the state budget, right?
And it would seem like California's budgetary problems were the main issue. However, halfway through filming, we found out otherwise. As it had turned out in a news report, $54 million had been hidden by a state parks commissioner into unknown bank accounts for unknown purposes. In the weeks following, it turned out there was a budget scandal. It wasn't that there wasn't enough money, it was that the money that was there had been stolen. After coming to the park today, I noticed a couple of things. Yeah, I've noticed that there's a entrance fee that's been added. When exactly and why did you guys start instituting the entrance fee?
The reason we have it is a budgetary crisis here in California. The money that we get for the entrance fee at Muir Woods helps fund the other various state and federal parks here in California. There are 2 different tiers of parks. You have federally owned parks and you have state-owned parks. The state-owned parks are the ones that are in danger and are losing funding because of California's budgetary problems. See, California has a lot of debt, so as such, we don't have anywhere near as much money to give to our state parks as we used to.
The thing about state parks is any park, if you stop funding it, that just means you're going to have to pay more to open it up later, because there's a lot of maintenance issues, trails, stuff like that, that's going to fall apart. You're going to have to deal with that at some point. The longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. Also, if something is messed up there, or if there's not people patrolling, that's more likely that, someone's going to go out and do something they're not supposed to.
Right.
That's our watershed. So anything that you do up on Mount Tamalpais, that comes down through this creek and that goes out through Muir Beach. And
right.
The salmon that we have spawning in this creek are extremely reliant on the Mount Tamalpais watershed.
It is still unclear as to what exactly happened with all the money. Speculation was that it went into vacation funds for a lot of the commissioners of the park. It was interesting how the commissioner resigned immediately after everything came to light.
Sad day for families, people who can come and participate in the beauty of nature, feel the connection of nature, learn from nature, bring their families here, honor the land.
There are lots of states, and I'm unaware of how bad the park situation is in Illinois,
Right.
and I'm somewhat unaware of how bad it is here. I thought it's mostly just haggling over the state budget. So
We assume
try
as well.
to use the issues that will get the most voters excited and demand some kind of fix, and
Right.
and hide all the real money that could solve the problem somewhere else. It's a whipping boy in the whole budget process.
Right.
And eventually it works out to some extent or another. But California does have real budget problems.
Hey, if we can find the money, spend zillions on drones to blow up who knows what, and if we can find the money to bail out bankers and CEOs who still make zillions and zillions and zillions and don't pay back themselves, how can we not find money to keep our glorious parks, beautiful parks, open for families and people to participate in the beauty of nature and respect nature? How can we not do that? This is important. Let's keep them open.